Welcome back to another edition of the India Connection. We actually recorded this whole thing with the mic off.
So now you have to listen to me eat my lunch while we were filming.
All right, we got to kind of rush through this. So we did have a chance to see Kunal. We made a little trip, so here is how that went down.
IRL, in real life.
In real life. A real India connection.
Real India connection.
We are going on a little adventure. A mini adventure. Well, actually, it's not quite mini.
I'm excited.
We're going to Tallahassee.
Froakie!
Rohan has picked up on some Pokemon named Froakie. Is that real?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's really not real.
India Connection subreddit subscriber, Kunal, contacted us, said he's in Tallahassee. So we're driving to my old stomping grounds, Tallahassee, where I learned to play the violin in orchestras. So we're taking the old route. I used to do this on Saturdays, so it's a Saturday. It's kind of fun.
Well, that's way blown out.
So I'm excited to make the drive. Again, the kids are really excited to make the drive.
But he has her pillow, though.
So we get to get some authentic Indian food and maybe even shop for some supplies to make our own. What is one thing that you would like to make? Yellow dal or?
Yeah, I need some lentils so I can make some dal.
Dal makhani.
Things do you use for fighting?
Tough and my clothes. These tough could grow behind my neck.
I got my style and shades, thanks to Caleb, my old boss. Guess I should get these back to him.
He finds 8 pairs on boats.
I guess so. That was a question somebody asked. What is it like readjusting to America's measurement system? Because in India, they use metric. In Delhi, I was used to judging things by kilometers. Here, I'm used to judging things in miles. So it's almost like it just seems to fit in my brain. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same. Like, because we grew up doing this, it's just normal.
Right.
Just like, oh, I'm in America. Boom, this is how things are.
And I don't really know the reason. It's just one of those American contrarian things, like not saying aluminium. Like, we actually spell it differently. We don't have that extra I in there. So I don't know why that is. It's just Americans being rebels. I don't know.
Americans are being stupid. Like, why can't we just use a metric system? It's so much easier. It's annoying.
One time I was walking past the stadium, we were driving through, and Miami Hurricanes were here. They were all just these Hurricane fans that had this giant banner and they were walking with it. And it was like FU, FSU or something like that.
Yeah.
Hi, Rohan.
I know. They have blue ones, but they don't have red ones. Oh.
Magic masala.
No way, that's my least favorite kind. I hate that.
Magic masala is better than the red
I
kind.
like this kind. I'll take that. It's better than the American kind.
That's American style. You
Yeah,
just
but
buy
it-
those.
It tastes different.
It tastes different than the American
Yeah, it
kind?
does.
Really?
It does.
The American style Indian Lay's is better than the American Lay's.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get the magic masala.
Me too.
My mangoes.
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
No, I just don't even need them in a
Oh, you excited about that jalebi?
Good, how are you?
We gotta go eat lunch though.
No, but
Oh man, they got kachori, they got samosas. Is this the hall?
This is it. Got a few chips. Sati found some dairy milk.
This is cheese. This quintessentially Indian
Yep.
snack over here.
Yep, and her
She got some
YY with
Okay.
bourbons. Hey, we got our doll.
Got the doll. All right.
So, and I even got us a little pickle.
Oh, good. Yay. Good. And I got
Yeah.
some matri and magic masala chips. Ruben, how is it?
That is yours.
How's yours?
It's legitimate? Yeah. Alright, I've decided today I need to learn how to make tarka dal.
Oh, it's so easy.
I'm just gonna just eat this every meal. And I honestly feel healthier when I do that. Like, just white rice and yellow dal. I haven't seen pani puri in a long time. This is the first time I've made my own pani puri, so let's see how I did. I mean, it's all the ingredients are there, but you actually have to break the top. You know, put the potatoes in, put the juice in. All my juices actually come out. I failed totally. Like,
Not juicy at all.
no. It's cool seeing him though. On the trip, we did get to include him in some of the Ask America Anything questions and the India Connection questions. So here's some of those. So we got a question from Sampada Lele on the India Connection subreddit. And this is a question for us, but I thought Kunal could answer this as well. You'll be able to relate to this. I'm a student here in the U.S. from India, and I enjoy your channel. In my experience, if I were to account for a few negative emotions that a person generally undergoes in India on a daily basis is anger and frustration, but in U.S. it's more loneliness and depression. Did you face such emotions while you're with your transition? Honestly, for me, the latter set of emotions was more difficult to deal with. That has been true for me in the last decade. I would say I generally tend to struggle with depression more over here. Anger? I don't know. I actually struggle with anger more over here too, but I think it's because why? I don't know why. We were having this conversation about driving. Like, he was asking how I could drive in India, and I was like, for some reason, for a passive-aggressive kind of personality like myself, I actually like driving in India better because it was very aggressive, and so I could be aggressive without like losing my temper. It's like, you know, you're just honking all the time. It's like not a mad thing. It's just like, I'm just letting you know I'm here. So I don't know, it's just more external, and I kind of got used to that. But here I had a lot of problems with road rage where I've almost gotten in fights. So I still struggle with anger here as much as I did in India, but I do understand that, like, with that the kind of pushy like city life in India, how anger could definitely be a problem. What are your thoughts, Kunal?
If he's coming from India, he would go through a phase of loneliness and depression. It's natural because you're away from your family, you start missing them, so it becomes a part of life. That's why I think you need to meet up with more people, otherwise you cannot get rid of it. Because in my first semester, that was my toughest period. Like, being a boy, I used to cry a lot, like every day. There was like small things, like even washing my plates, I used to cry. Like, I was that crybaby. But when I started meeting with new people, trying to getting used to the culture, getting used to all the new things, then I became better adjusted at this. But there are moments also now when I go through the same phase, but it's rare nowadays.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, especially being away in a new place, struggling with some loneliness and depression. I agree. It's hard. It's not for the faint of heart.
Do you struggle more with anger in America or India? You're not really an angry person, though.
I'm not. Though I have felt anger and frustration a lot in this past year. But
Yeah.
I think it's more to do with what's happening in life, not necessarily my location.
Yeah, true. All right. What do you think? Where did you feel more angry or more depressed? India or America? This is like a terrible question because no matter what you say, it's going to be wrong.
Yeah, so don't answer. Say, please, the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Here.
So both anger and depression?
Yeah.
Especially this year. We were talking about this has not been the most ideal year for America. The election year, and everyone's been very political and very angry, it seems like. But, yeah.
And sometimes you miss that chaos
Right.
of India.
Yeah, it's true. Let's just do it. Let's just have a nice drive, good Sunday drive through Delhi. That's what we need.
So do you eat fast food like McDonald's here in the U.S.? And how do you feel about it, like compared to India?
I used to enjoy McDonald's and all this fast food more in India because you get that home food, then you have that McDonald's there and all those
Like
things
this?
really. So you tend to enjoy more. But here you tend to eat those kind of things more. So,
Too much.
So it's not even like it's not even fun
What
anymore.
What do you think about the different menus, like McDonald's in India versus McDonald's here? Which do you
In
prefer?
India, there's so many veg options, and here there's
no
no veg
veg
options.
option. And even
You do.
I used to have this cheeseburger initially thinking it was cheese in Burger King.
You're like,
That bacon cheeseburger, and later I realized that it was beef, and my mother was like, "Hey, you started eating beef."
It was accidental.
Yeah, it was accidental. It was not
It's this new paneer burger.
but yeah.
And even the pepperoni pizza in India is only pork. Here
Yeah.
is this pork and beef mix. I used to love pepperoni pizza. My first 2 years was full of pepperoni pizzas.
Yes.
Urban
In
environment.
India, they're always so aware of the special dietary restrictions, so they're always going to make sure and ask you. In the U.S., it's like,
Yeah, I mean, but again, like if you go to certain
because
urban areas,
we don't. Yeah, I mean, it's just
dietary restrictions are more
yeah.
considered in the highfalutin places.
Yeah, in our area, we're only finally starting, to get organic considerations and gluten-free.
And then Hemant Pandit did his own Hemant rant about philosophy.
Hello, Ford. My name is Hemant Pandit. This sort of binary notion becomes difficult with moral judgments about how you should live your life. What is more helpful is a notion of truth that is unfolding.
Some of the things we had to take away from that we both thought were pretty cool. What was first came to your mind, so I don't frant?
I like the phrase he mentioned about truth unfolding.
Hindu thought has this array of meaning where it's almost like more like music or like art that you can get. It's not really a propositional statement. You feel music and you can feel sad from the music, but words don't really capture it in the same way. And so I think it is difficult for people in the West to kind of wrap our minds around that because we tend to think in binary terms. So digital,
Black and white.
Digital, 0 or 1. But analog is another way of, even in the electrical world. We got knobs over here on my amp. You turn up the knob, and it's not just one slot at a time. It's kind of like a frequency. It's a range. On a number line, it's like hitting in between the numbers. You've got decimals there, not just the numbers. So I've been thinking a lot about that this week. And there's a lot of places you can take this, but I think that's an exciting way of thinking of some of the possibilities within philosophy, within ethics, within politics, within religion, and we're going to find new ways of this applying to other areas as well. I was listening to a podcast this week where a guy was talking about the possibility of streaming money. This video is being streamed to you right now. You're not getting the whole thing all at once. It's being streamed across the internet, megabits per second, megabytes per second. Well, eventually we're going to get to the point where it's going to be rupees per second. You're paying something per second or per instead of just per use, and that's again like a very propositional concept that I have money, I give it to you, but until it exchange hands, it's only in that one moment, right? But eventually we're going to start seeing this sort of analog idea apply to a lot of things, and Hindu philosophy, Eastern philosophies have kind of been in that space, this truth unfolding space that Hemant was talking about in his video. I'll link that in the description. Great video. Do check it out. He meanders like me. We both, like I'm already doing right now.
No, it's great.
It's great. So
These
if you're into,
these are Ford's people.
yeah, that's my kind of
He needs
conversation.
These people, exactly.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Give me a lot to think about, and the possibilities here again of this sort of interaction where we can learn from one another and just think about new frontiers of philosophy, new frontiers of so many different areas. I think it's going to be pretty cool. So thanks, Hemant, for the awesome thoughts there. If you have some thoughts, do post your own video, or post even a longer post. I've had some people give me suggestions about books. I don't have time to read every book, so if you can give me a summary or certain passages that you think would be good, things that can be linked that I can actually get to. Posting videos from other people, people are doing a lot of that. Some of these videos are very long. If you can give me summaries and stuff like that, that'll be helpful too. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting the India Connection subreddits. We're looking forward to the conversations we're going to have.
I started at the end, trying to work my way towards the beginning, writing back to people.
We did have Iowa D, Dunrudge. He had asked us last week about some Thanksgiving ideas, like what he should cook as an Indian for Americans on Thanksgiving, because he was invited over for Thanksgiving. Somehow this slipped through the cracks, so I'm sorry about that, Dunrudge. We didn't even notice it.
We don't know what happened. For some reason,
it's marked in red. So I approved it since then, so I don't know why it didn't come through. And I think he felt bad. He was like, oh, did I offend them? Because he made this joke. I was like, you didn't offend us. That was funny. No. He said, thank you so much for...
Unless you say our channel's dying. Then.
Thank you so much for stereotyping me as a person from Chennai who loves to eat dosas, idlis, and sambar. You're 100% correct. I love that you did that.
I'm glad we were correct.
And thought it was hilarious.
Feel bad otherwise.
He goes on to talk about how living in North India, he's adopted to eating a lot of North Indian food. He says he eats more samosas in a day than we do in our life, which I don't think is accurate. So we'd given him some dish suggestions. He ended up making a vegetable pulao, and he asked us how our Thanksgiving was. Here's a little bit of footage from that. Play a game with my dad. So Dad expressed a hankering to play some Clue. So here we are. Satya was happy about that too. You like your Clue body?
No one likes Clue except me and Pear. So.
Well, I love it.
It's the only game I can remember. I did play the last game I played
And I
was
got me the
Monopoly.
paint person.
Oh, Monopoly.
In Belize, remember, babe? We played over at Tim's house, and I won.
Longest game ever.
Yeah.
What was it?
Monopoly.
Monopoly. Oh, okay.
And the guy who owned the house, he always won, and he was bragging about it, but yet I beat him.
They set up Christmas tree. We put a fire on the TV because apparently the fireplace, like we have what is
Our
that about?
Our fireplace is gas.
Oh, okay.
It's not the same as a
I
real
just
fire.
It's so hilarious. We have an actual fireplace and next to it a TV.
And we're watching it on Netflix. We're
and they watch it.
streaming a fire on Netflix.
Oh my gosh.
But hey, on Thanksgiving Day we had a nice relaxing day.
Very relaxed.
Yep, it was just us 6 Suzes for the Thanksgiving, and we got to watch You've Got Mail. It was fun.
We're just thankful that Kunal reached out to us on the India Connection subreddit. That was a very rejuvenating, refreshing time for me.
Us feel like us again.
It did.
Like, oh, this is what we are.
For a few hours, I felt like forward again. So that's good. Dunrudge went on to ask, he's planning a trip to India. What are some things you could take to India? You had some thoughts. Oh, the garlic press.
Yeah. I don't know if they have these in India, but I took a garlic press to India for my own personal use, and then our cook, she would use it. It has a little section where you put the garlic in, and then you press it together, and it pushes the garlic out, so that way you don't have to peel and chop your own garlic. I'm not going to peel and chop my own garlic. I love my garlic press.
Okay.
That was an idea. Kitchen gadgets. There's got to be...
You do have to watch out for the
nothing electric. Right?
Yeah, because you just have to be careful about that.
volt.
You need a converter or whatever.
We've killed some.
We broke some stuff, burned it.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years ago, we had a list, but now it's just
now
like,
it's like,
I mean, everything, the stuff that we used to hoard, it's just readily available now. I mean, all right. Well, thanks, Dunrudge. Sorry about being late getting back to you. Did not hurt our feelings at all. Thank you for
glad we stereotyped you correctly.
Keeping the conversation going. We do hope to see you one day as well. We're going to try to see as many people as we can. This was a cool little question here. People of Twitter, what is your favorite short story? I'm off work today, so I'd like to read a few. Please put up a link of your favorite if possible. In the spirit of giving, here's mine, The Night by Ray Bradbury. This is an India connection that is totally... like through 4 degrees of separation. I follow someone on Twitter who follows her that retweeted this, so one of those weird little things. But I liked this question. Ray Bradbury, if you haven't read any Ray Bradbury short stories, phenomenal writer. The Illustrated Man is way up there. I mean, that dude was a master sci-fi writer and master storyteller. So I don't remember which one The Night is, if it's in that collection or not. But I put as my recommendation The Chromium Fence by Philip K. Dick, or Sales Pitch by Philip K. Dick, or pretty much anything by Philip K. Dick. He's like it's my new man crush, nerd crush is Philip K. Dick. That dude. It's this guy who's behind Blade Runner, Minority Report. So yeah, just genius.
Nice. I don't have any short stories. I read long ones by Brandon Sanderson.
She's big on the Brandon Sanderson bandwagon.
Right now I'm reading Stormlight Archive. The new book is out.
Yeah, it's out. Right?
So I'm reading. I reread the first. Now I'm rereading the second, so that 4 can gift the third to me for Christmas.
Oh, okay. We had a lot of good stuff in our little in our
the
original
one with
video.
No audio.
Yeah. Today we have a lot more vlog footage, so hopefully that's been kind of a fun little trip down memory lane for you as much as it has been for us. Next week we will try to cook some of the food that we got at the supermarket.
Yeah, make some dal.
I'm gonna try.
Just your normal.
I'm gonna try making the yellow dal.
Yellow dal.
And they're gonna
everyday dal.
They're gonna do dal makhani.
Yeah.
And we'll see
definitely
how it goes.
Try that.
So thank you all for contributing to the India Connection. Thank you for joining the India Connection subreddit. Link down below if you haven't joined yet. And we look forward to carrying this conversation forward and having just more of these kinds of conversations. Keep the questions coming. There's a little bit of overlap right now between Ask America Anything and the India Connection. We want this one to kind of venture into more, I don't know.
Us finding stuff and sharing it. You finding stuff and sharing it.
More connection.
And then Ask America Anything actually like asking us questions.
Yeah. All right. Thanks especially to Hemant and Kunal for really reaching out to us this week. If you'd like to reach out to us in a similar way, if you know somebody in the Northwest Florida area that we could actually drive to in a short period of time, let us know through a few degrees of separation. If you know somebody in the area, maybe we can go over and visit them. One of these days we do want to make it down further. I know that there's probably some populations down in Tampa. I think we even have a fan down in Tampa.
Right.
So
I thought it was Clearwater.
Clearwater, yeah. We got somebody who's thinking about coming visiting us in January.
Hey.
So
come. We have beautiful beaches even in January.
Yep,
gorgeous beaches. You may not want to swim.
All right. Well, thank you all. Until next time, keep it creative, keep it cross-cultural, and keep it constructive.
Thank you very much.